the easiest way to get belly to belly with more people is an open house or a rental. Because majority of rentals, like people that are renting, like they're in serious need. Like we're trying to go after the serious need people that are relocating or and that's every
Those
agent.
are paycheck.
Every agent. Yeah.
The inventory issues go down the drain. Market volatility goes down the drain. Here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand just because somebody says they're a renter, does that mean they're actually going to rent? If they actually were given the right process, it's like, wait, what? So tell me, like, why are you guys going to rent?
You are listening to the #1 real estate podcast in the world, where we talk with real estate professionals all across North America about their wins, losses, lessons, and stories help you win in your local market today. My name is Cody from Sheridan Street. I'm joined with Vikram Deol of the Real Estate Sales Academy. Vikram and I were like jamming earlier on today. And I'm like, Vikram from the Real Estate Sales Academy, what we need to do, and I believe that this should be the truth, and I believe that this should happen. We need to create you a jingle. If we created you a jingle for local radio,
I'd play it.
Like Vikram at the Real Estate Sales Academy.
You know what's funny about that? I didn't tell you because I knew it'd come up at some point where it'd be a better story. One of my agents that worked for me, like with me, really became a really good friend. His daughter, because when he started working with me, he was working for he was a server at a restaurant. And so he always worked restaurant shift hours. Mm-hmm. And once he started working with me, he actually had money, he had time, he had no car when he started. I didn't know he didn't have a car when he started. And he was able to start giving her, he always had money for alcohol and weed, but he didn't have money for his kid, priorities. And once he started working with me, within like 6 months, he was spending so much more time with her. And I loved her. She's so cute, so adorable, so smart. Just really, really sweet young gal. And she made a song. I can't remember the song now, but she actually created a song. She was like, Vikram, Deol, Vikram, the Deol group. And she came in singing it one day. And I was like, oh my God, you're the cutest little thing ever. Like, it was adorable. She was like 2 or 3 at the time. Time flies.
We're going to totally create you a jingle for your sales academy. And then, I'm going to get you, I'm going to create one for you. And then I'm going to get you some radio time on like on one of the top local radio stations in Bellevue. And then we're going to start a team there. And we're going to have we're going to have a jingle on local radio in Bellevue called Vikram Deol at the Deol Group. I got you, bro. And then we're going to run ads
to the jingle.
But that's a terrible idea.
It's possible possible that there's agents in Bellevue that like me. It's also equally possible that there's agents in Bellevue that actually hate me, which is hard for me to imagine. I feel very likable.
It happens.
My mom says I'm likable. My mom says I'm not eat for everybody, though.
You're a very likable person to a special crowd. Whenever I say
taste.
It's an acquired taste. I agree. It's kind of like olives. Like, I still hate olives, but I like you. I still hate olives. It's not olives are terrible, but what are we
jamming on today, bro? Open houses. What are we jamming on? Rentals.
Yeah, I think I really want to start with rentals, and I think that open houses are another great conversation to have. Like, I have a client.
I think what we're jamming on, just to give context, so before we go into give a little bit of a frame, as you've taught me, Cody, we are going to talk about on this episode on ways that you can increase your income that don't cost you money and that a lot of agents look down upon. And I'll tell you why they look down upon this, Cody, because I've had the conversation before. Because when I got into the business, I took everything. And it's because they don't have a good process. And because they don't have a process, they don't know that there's a better way to do things. And because they don't know there's a better way to do things. And you know what, dude, I'm going to give my open house script to book appointments in the open house, which nobody knows and nobody's done and nobody's heard except for unless you're in my private group. And we would book appointments same day with buyers and sellers from our open houses. So let's jam first on your thoughts around the rental and why you even want to bring up rentals, because aren't rentals stupid?
Yeah, there's a lot of agents that are like won't even have a conversation with a rental right now, but their transaction volume is down 60%. And in markets like Toronto, I kind of like don't understand, because the rental prices are $25, $26, $3,200. It's a quick paycheck. And we have a client out of Ottawa right now, Mike, who he's like, he's like, the rental market is crazy, and all these agents locally will not service the rental market. So
why
he's like,
aren't they serving them?
They're just not serving them because they think that there's a crazy amount of time that's required in order to serve them at a high level. But if your transaction volume is down, so for example, I'll give you an example. So because the real estate market right now is down in the US across, 32%, it's part of the reason why we pivoted a portion of our strategy this year in order to open up into a different market. And if you're in a local market right now and your transaction volume, your personal transaction volume's down 40, 50, 60%, you need to find different ways in order to add income in order to add revenue back in your business. And rentals, in my opinion, are one of the fastest ways to a paycheck. Not only that, I think obviously open houses are the fastest way to a paycheck, but rentals, so for example, Mike in Ottawa right now, he's closed $4,500 on 2 rentals. So when you look at the average commission of like a buyer in his market, the average commission of a sale is about, let's call it
6,
8 to 10,000, 8 to 10,000. So, but a lot more work does go into actually closing out a buyer.
So what we all know this saying, Cody May, is that you can close 2 to 3 rentals in the same time you might close 1 buyer, because a buyer is going to be typically 60 on the low side to a paycheck from day 1 call to anywhere 9 months out, because when buyers start shopping, they typically need education around the process and they need to go out and do a bunch of things to get ready to buy.
The really interesting thing about Mike as well is he's one of the only agents that I've worked with. There's a couple other agents I've worked with in the last couple of years. He's like, hey man, this rental strategy that I'm running right now is fueling my buyer campaigns. He's able to spend more.
How could that happen, Cody? That's silly. Right? That would never happen.
So he's allocated about $300 to $500 a month just on running rental campaigns. So targeting people that are looking to get into rentals. So his strategy is like, hey, okay, I'm going to spend like $10 a day in order to acquire these rentals. I've created a process on the back end in order to service them. Like I have a standard operating procedure. I'm going to service them. And he's actually saying, he's like, man, if I could do 10 rentals a month, I'm going to make $100,000 a year just off rentals, not including the $100,000 I've made with you guys on the sales side and the buy side. And he's like, I just created a process and I have majority of my VA handling all the back end systems. So it's like, there is absolutely money in rentals, and especially with what was that?
So there's money in everything if you know what you're doing.
100%. And what I would implore before you go, what I would implore every agent out there that is a buyer agent, or potentially you're a listing agent, I would highly implore you to create a rental strategy locally of how do you, because if like, let's do the math. So say for example, he's done 2 rentals, $4,500. Didn't take a crazy amount of time in order to get them into a rental.
Right.
He's able to represent them. And then when they are ready to buy, who are they going to? They're going to the person that served them.
They're going to go call Mike.
Yeah.
Because Mike has a process. Here's a crazy thing. Agents forget their own personal processes. So agents don't actually realize it's like, before you were a homeowner, what were you? Well, I was a renter. Okay. And then when you were a renter, right, you dealt with what? A leasing agent. Okay. Well, I don't want to be a leasing agent. Don't follow me. Follow me, Turbo. Most people don't aspire to be renters. So if you're going after a renter in a higher end market, now I get it. Like if you're targeting a lower end market rental,
I get it. Yeah.
That might be a little bit more challenging, right? But like, welcome all business, right?
But then again, Vic, like when you look at even in these smaller markets, rentals are still $2,000 to $3,000, even in smaller markets. Like Like, for
Well,
example,
like
where my family's from, like, you can't get anything for less than, like anything good for less than $2,000 a month. So
right,
you can still stack the cash on the
right,
rentals in order to reinvest back into your business.
100%. But I'm going to take it down a different track, right? Let me
Yeah.
take it down a different track. So let's say you're going after like a median priced rental, which could be, 50% more or 30% more than what your entry level rentals are. Now, you make a couple $1,000 quick. It pays your bills, right? It allows you to start reducing your stress. It allows you to start focusing on the business you want to eventually be doing, right? So let's say you don't want to be a rental your whole life. That's cool. No worries. But right now, you can. And here's the cool thing. If somebody's renting and they like you and they trust you and you treated them well and you ask them this question, hey, like, I was wondering if you hypothetically might know somebody that was possibly thinking about like buying a home in the next 12 to 18 months. Oh yeah, I do know a couple people. Oh, well, like only if you wouldn't be opposed to it, would you be open to, like a quick introduction via, text message, and then I'll take it from there with them. Just, what we do is we like to teach people, just like how we helped you get into this rental and we came up with a game plan to get you out of the rental in 24 months. What we like to do is we like to help buyers, even the ones that are like 18 to 24 months out, the people that are just like kind of thinking, oh, I'd love to own a home in the next couple of years. We love to sit down with them and give them a game plan and teach them the 3 most important things that buyers should know, first-time buyers should know, or whatever it is, should know about buying a home and preparing for it, because it's going to get harder and harder to actually be able to afford a home. So like if you're not super conscious about your habits now, when you're actually ready to buy, you might not actually be ready. Would you be opposed to doing that if you know anybody? Now they know where you're doing, like what you're doing, the whole shebang, and you're providing value, because the reason why people don't refer, Cody, is because they don't understand the process that you're going to take them through. And they're scared that the process that you're about to take their friend through is going to be different than the process you took them through. And if that's the case, then they don't want to be the one with, like, why don't you send somebody to a restaurant that was okay? Because you don't want to be the person that sent your friend to an okay restaurant.
Sure.
And so as an agent, if you start to think about the long-term game, right, in 2024, 2025, 2026, you could have a platform with hundreds and hundreds of people that love you and want to see you win because you were there when nobody else was. But instead, so many agents, and this is why the industry noise is so loud, and this is why it's so dangerous to only think about from the real estate industry. The real estate industry is so ego-driven that people don't have a place to feel safe. So instead of doing some business, they would choose to do no business to try to protect, because they don't want. No, let me finish.
No.
Because
And
they don't want.
I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
They don't want to go. Yeah, they don't want to go to the printer at the company office with a rental and have that fucking asshole agent named David, and you know who you are because you used to talk so much shit to me when I would print up my Zillow stuff. They don't want that agent David talking shit about them doing, oh, you're doing a rental, eh? And scoff at them, even though that agent is doing just as bad as you. But because of that agent, we choose to suffer to the point where we are not actually serving the consumer, which means you're not actually doing what you say you want to do, which is help people.
Yeah. The amount of and I see it firsthand, brother. I see
bro.
it
It
first.
sucks.
I see it sucks.
So much bullying in our industry.
And I see it firsthand with, and I like the way that you explained to me on the back end, like kind of like the kind of the psychology behind why they're not doing it. But I see on the front end of like talking with these agents on a consistent basis, they're like, we don't want to talk to any rentals. It's like, well,
It's
why? Like,
because it's the mindset's broken in the industry.
Yeah, and it's like they're estimating, like they said that 32% of buyers in this year so far have been first time buyers. So 32% of buyers this year. So you're missing out 1/3 of the market this year by not working with first-time buyers.
Yeah.
And who got those buyers?
Somebody.
The people that got those buyers were probably the people that worked with them on the rental side.
Well, let's talk about where else you find them.
Where else do you find
first-time buyers that don't have agents?
Open houses.
That's right, baby. Okay. So here's the script for open houses. One, all right, do an 11 to 1, 2 to 4. Don't do 4-hour open houses. It's unnecessary. 11 to 1, 2 to 4. Go become good friends with the dominant listing agent. It might take you some time to get listings, but go become friends with the dominant listing agent. Learn their process. Make sure that you give the listing agent follow-up at the end of your open house. Give them all of the details, right? We had 37 people come in, or we had 3 people come in. We had one agent come in. We had one couple with an agent that didn't have the agent. Here's the agent's name. Here's the other agent's name. And then we had one other party that was unrepresented. I'm going to follow up with them and see what they were looking for. And if this might be a good fit. If it is, I'll let you know and we'll try to put an offer together. Cool, great. By the way, I put the coffee machine underneath the sink. I forgot to put it back. Tell your client that I just wanted to have the counters like perfect, blah, 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 right? Make it clean. Vacuum the house. Leave the house clean. Cody, you're doing your hair. You look great. People don't want to do the work, but do the work. Make the house spectacular, right? You represent the house while you're in it. Go get signs, like lots of signs with your name, not your company. F your company. I love my company. I'm with Real Brokers. I love them, but let me tell you, if I'm doing an open house, my name is bigger than Real. I am making my name and number as big as humanly possible and the company name as small as humanly possible, because nobody in the industry, nobody outside of your industry gives a shit about your company's name. All right, so stop making your company logos huge. Make your name as big as humanly possible. And if you're in a team, tell your team leader, I want my name to be bigger than your name because I'm the one doing the work. And if they have a problem with that, get a new team. Get a bunch of signs, as many as you can afford. Keep adding, keep adding. Now, I was a little shady. I will admit it. I've done things a little shady. I would leave my signs out, Cody, on the big intersections. I would leave my signs out for a couple of extra days. Sometimes I'd leave them for weeks at a time. And people would call me, hey, Vic, we saw your sign out. I'm like, oh, really? That's so weird. Somebody was supposed to pick them up. I'm like, I'm so sorry that, I'm so sorry. What was your name? So-and-so. Okay, I'm gonna send my team out there. Do you mind if I give you a call a little later on to make sure somebody went and picked it up? They're like, oh, no, not at all. And, oh, by the way, do you live in the neighborhood? Oh, we do. These signs are so expensive. Can I come over and drop off a Starbucks gift card? I know it's cheesy. I know you can afford a coffee, but can I just as a thank you come and give you a Starbucks gift card just as a thank you and a courtesy as a gift for letting us know, because those signs cost so much money and most people just let the city pick them up. Oh my God, you don't need to do it. I know. I want to though, because you're a good human. I'm a good human. Good humans should drink coffee together. Okay, sure. Get the address, got the phone number, got the name, right? Drop off a gift card. Like, you guys are killing yourselves. You're working too hard. Make this more fun. Like, gamify the shit out of this. So now we would pick up leads this way. We'd have 20 signs out. It takes time to put the signs out. We'd put a bunch of signs out. When people come in, we'd have them check in, do the whole shebang. But when you're in an open house, don't have music on, because you should be listening to the buyers' conversations.
Yeah.
Become better at what you do. So I would listen to my buyers and I would see which ones were like placing beds and trees and dining room tables. And, oh, here's where we'd put our prayer room. Here's where we'd do this. Babe, could you see yourself over here? Kids, could you like this? You like the backyard? Right? So they're placing stuff. I'm listening to see who's really interested. Then at the end, right now, if the open house is busy, you're going to use this same script on a phone call. But at the end, right? So what brought you into the home today, Cody? Like, did you find the house online or did you find it through the signs? Say online.
Online.
Oh, okay. And I guess is that how you're typically finding homes, or how else have you been searching for homes to go look at?
We generally look on Zillow.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Zillow's a fairly good site. And how long have you guys been looking on homes like on Zillow for?
We've been searching for something for the last 8 to 9 months.
Oh, cool. So you guys are just kind of getting started?
Yeah. We're just getting started. We're trying to find something that we like.
Right. Okay. And have you guys is there any other way? Are you guys just doing open houses, or is that kind of like your main way of looking for properties?
Yeah. We're just kind of looking online and we're just popping into whatever we think that might be a good opportunity for our family.
Okay. So now I've already figured out that they're only online. I've asked Cody without asking Cody how he's looking at homes. He's told me that he's only doing it this way. So he doesn't have an agent, more than likely, because if he had an agent, he would say, oh, yeah, our agents, we're working with a couple of people, but nobody seriously, right? We eliminated the fact that he's, right? We take out the like, oh, I'm not in a rush. Okay, so you guys are just at the start of your process, right? Oh, okay, so you guys are just like kind of at the start of your process. Oh, yeah, super low pressure. Right now they back, no, we've been doing it this way, but now we're getting more serious. But at first we just wanted to see what was out there, but now we're getting a little bit more serious. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's what most people do. They look around for 6-7 months online by themselves. And then, when they start to get serious, they actually start going out to homes. So how long have you been actually going out to open houses for? Like a little bit more seriously, Cody?
Like I would say over the last 2 months.
Oh, okay, cool. And then, has anybody and I know we just met, but has anybody actually sat down and gone over like the 3 most important things? Have you guys actually purchased a home, or is this your first home?
This is our first home.
Oh, okay. Has anybody actually sat down with you guys and gone over like the 3 most important things that first-time home buyers should know about and buy, like when they're trying to buy a home in this kind of a in this type of market?
No one's done that. We just kind of look at.
Oh, really? That could be a little problematic. I guess I'm just going to throw this out of the blue, and only if you'd find it helpful, but would you be opposed, would you find it helpful as a possible next step if we could actually sit down and I could share with you what I share with all my top clients, like the 3 most important things that you should know about buying a home in today's market? Would you be opposed to that?
No, we're not opposed to that.
Okay. And I don't know what your time frame is. It doesn't sound like you guys are in a major rush. But could you pull up your calendar and we could just book in a time now so we don't have to try to chase each other down during the week?
Yeah, we can do that.
Boom, you booked your appointment, you guys, right there on the spot. Open houses are slow. You only need 1 or 2 appointments per open house. Hey, what's up? If you're a real estate agent that is not converting at least 2 deals a month, join me inside the Real Estate Sales Academy, where I will teach you exactly what to say, how to say it, so that we prevent objections and we don't create sales resistance from our prospects. If you're not doing at least 2 deals a month, comment trial below, because I'm going to give you an opportunity to try our program before you buy it. You're going to get 3 live coaching calls with me, who sold over $250 million in real estate, millions of dollars of Cutco knives for free, because I believe in try before you buy, proof over promise. See you inside, comment trial below.
I think the big thing there as well is we chat whenever I chat with agents in the online marketing space, it's they say to me, oh, if I could just get to people, if I could just get belly to belly with more people. I'm like, guys, the easiest way to get belly to belly with more people is an open house or a rental, because majority of rentals, people that are renting are they're in serious need. We're trying to go after the serious need people that are relocating or and that's every
Those
agent,
are paycheck.
every agent. Yeah.
There's no the inventory issues go down the drain. Market volatility goes down the drain. Interest rates go down. We didn't talk about this earlier. So when I first started, I started doing some rentals. Lucky or unlucky, I didn't have to do a ton of rentals because I was able to take the few and get really good rapport and get referrals out of them. But here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand the negative consequences. This is what we teach inside the Sales Academy. That's why we meet 3-4 times a week. That's why we have our private Facebook group where I can answer questions nonstop for our clients. But here's what people don't understand, bro. Just because somebody says they're a renter, does that mean they're actually going to rent? If they were given the right process, it's wait, what? So tell me, why are you guys going to rent? We just do another quick role play. I know we're butting up on time.
Butting up on time. Yeah.
So hey, Cody, why don't we do this? Why don't we sit down, grab a same frame, you guys? 3 most important things that we tell all of our top clients that are looking to rent in this market. Would you be opposed? Would you find it beneficial? Would you be opposed? Right. Second is, would you be opposed because they want to say no? First is, would you find it beneficial because now you're doing it as something for them and not for you?
It's a gift.
It's a gift. So then when you sit down with them, it's so, hey, tell me why you guys renting? Oh, well, we wanted to buy, but we just think we're priced out of the market. Oh, okay. Hey. Well, do you mind if we spend a few minutes to just jam on kind of what your long-term goal is, right? Just to see how we can make a game plan? Oh, no, not at all. Okay, cool. So like, tell me like, why do you feel you're priced out of the market, or why do you feel you're XYZ out of the market? Like, so Cody, why do you guys feel like you're priced out of the market right now?
Well, yeah, like, like we just hear all the interest rates increasing.
Right.
We know they were like 3% the last couple of years. Now they're 7%.
True.
We don't know if we can afford it.
Okay.
And yeah, like we just don't know if we have enough money saved up in order to actually physically buy something.
Got it. So I better understand, like, if you could buy a home instead of throwing the money away on a rental, like if there was a way that you could buy a home, would you guys actually prefer to be owners or renters?
Yeah, we definitely want to own a home someday.
Okay.
And that's important for our family.
Okay.
But like I said, like we just don't have the money for it right now.
Okay. And I guess like do you guys have any money saved up for a down payment if like there was a way, like, and again, I don't even know if we could help you. I'm just trying to create the long-term game plan and maybe see it, because if you'd rather be a buyer than a renter, maybe there's something with special programs out there that you could actually do that. Would it be helpful if we kind of explored that a little bit?
What do you mean by special programs? What special programs?
Yeah, so like different financial institutions have different programs for first-time home buyers, right? Or for people who haven't bought in an X amount of years. And I would have to check in with them based off of like your specific details. Because like, there's different things for different people, but like there's programs out there where you could put as low as like 5% down all the way up to like 20% down. And like, because the market's a little bit slower right now, a lot of people that are looking to sell their home are doing what we call like a 2-to-1 buy down. Have you ever been explained what a 2-to-1 buy down is?
No one's ever explained that to me.
Okay, a 2-to-1 buy down is XYZ. And the way that we would work is, instead of giving like the seller to negotiate a lower price, we would negotiate a lower interest rate, which would actually benefit you in the short and the long run, because it would bring your monthly payment down. Were you aware that those were even options?
No, I wasn't even aware that was an option here.
Oh, wow.
I want to stop here really quickly, because I think it's so important, like for agents, for professionals to understand their options. Like Vic and I were at a conference last year, and everyone at the conference, the NAREP event we were in Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
Everyone was shocked with the amount of money in grants, the amount of money in loans, the amount of opportunities that are out there in local markets that we're just not aware of, because we're not in enough contact with our local lenders to allow us. And alternatively to that question, to that statement, is we don't talk to enough lenders. Like, we have our preferred lender that can do the thing that we want to do. But one of the mistakes that I've seen made along the way, and maybe we can kind of wrap up on this, Vic, is I've seen mistakes where it's like agents don't know what they don't know. So they go to their preferred lender, the guy who's done the deals with them, but the other guy down the street has a better program for the prospect, or a better program for the first-time buyer that will allow them to get into the home they want at the price they want with the terms they want. I just curious if you have any insight on that before we wrap up here.
Well, it goes back to the conversation we had on the last podcast with Frank earlier. And, Frank's probably a couple episodes prior to this one. Agents, unfortunately, like, you're told to go out to caravans. You're told to go out to marketing events. You're told to go out to happy hours. You're told to go out to meet other agents. They don't tell you that you should go find an inspector that you can shadow for the day. They don't tell you should go find a builder that can walk you through the property and teach you like what the straps on the walls are, like why the things are in the water heater closet, like how all of that shit actually works. Imagine this. Okay, you're going into a really nice restaurant. We're talking about like $150 steaks. We're talking about like $40 hamburgers. We're talking about like $35 desserts. You're talking about like $18 to $26 typical standard cocktails. Yeah. And imagine you go into the restaurant and the waiter that's serving you wasn't aware of the ingredients inside of your meal. So you order like a pasta and a steak, and he doesn't know that there's fish sauce in there, and you're allergic to fish sauce. I don't know. I'm just making shit up. Well, that's kind of like why agents don't feel comfortable going into homes, because they haven't actually done the homework on how a home operates, how the AC works, how the ventilation works, how the double pane versus single pane, right? They don't understand the different type of floorings, the different type of tiles, right? They don't understand all of that. They don't understand like the marble, the backsplashes, how they're all different. They don't even understand like the different grades of faucets and hardware, which is why your value is your perceived value in the marketplace is so low. But then when you get an agent like my team or myself that came in and we knew all of that stuff, we never had problems with like, rarely did we have a buyer once we sat down with them not want to work with us, because we demonstrated the value throughout the whole presentation, right? Like smooth walls versus like the walls that have like the mud on it with the, I can't remember the name, but the texture, right? Like all of these things add up, right?
Yeah.
So you have solid core doors. So if you don't know the product, right, and you're not talking to lending professionals, I don't like to call them lenders. I like to call them finance professionals. So if you're not out there talking to enough finance professionals about their different products that you could offer to your prospects in this market, then how would you know how to help a renter not be a renter?
Yeah. So, and I want to wrap up with this because I think this is a beautiful way to put this. And this is a beautiful thing to share, me as a marketer, a beautiful thing to share with any business owner that's out there currently listening to this is one of the things that my accountant, I think he's coming on the podcast next week, Bob Govro, has done so beautifully. I always
wanted to meet him.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things he's done so well is he's always kept us up to date on like, what are the opportunities available to get access to cash flow, get access to money. So in Canada amazing. Right now, if you're a business owner with at least one employee, the government of Canada through BDC has given us the opportunity to take out up to $100,000 loan, 0% interest. I'm going to say that one more time. Through BDC, there's access to a loan that's up to $100,000 you can get based on the size of your business, 0% interest. To top that off, the government of Canada right now, if you have at least one employee, has given you the opportunity to apply for a digital adoption grant, where it's a grant, so meaning you do not have to pay this back, up to $15,000. If you are a business owner, you're a real estate team lead, and you have at least one employee on payroll, you can access up to $15,000 in a grant, cash where you don't have to pay it, that you can apply towards creating a digital strategy for your business. So that's the last thing I wanted to explain, where it's amazing. Like by me knowing this, and by like, if you won't forget, if you go apply for that grant or you go to apply for that loan and you get approved for that loan, you're not going to forget that I was the person that helped you apply for that loan. And that's what agents in your local, like you an agent with that's the power that you have towards saying, hey, you're renting right now, but there's actually an available grant to you right now where we can get you up to X amount of dollars. Totally. I guarantee you that person will never forget that conversation. They will never forget that you helped them get into their forever home. They will never forget that. And that's what agents, if you want to be a true professional, true advisor, you need to know these things so that you can help more people in your local market.
Stop thinking short term is what it comes down to. Stop thinking short term.
100%. So I want to close out with this. I want to say thank you more than anything, guys, for tuning into another episode of the RE Agent Podcast. Vikram and I both, if you get any value, like share this. If you're listening to this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube,
and here's
you got any value?
Maybe they don't need this, Cody. Maybe the person listening to this is like, oh, this is good. Like, I don't need this. My business is fine. Right. But like maybe there's other agents in your office that this would actually add value to.
Totally. The open house strategy, the rental strategy.
Share with your broker, share with your managers, right? So that they can share it with their team.
Your training managers. And if you're out there, or maybe specifically, you know somebody out there in the market, Vikram and I run free trials for both of our programs. So if you have a database or you're looking to build a database and you want somebody to help you set appointments, that's what we do. We have a free trial. We send you 3 appointments to show you exactly what we do. And Vikram has the Real Estate Sales Academy, where he actually will allow you to drop in on his program, show you, help you overcome objections, join his program. And I've seen it firsthand because I actually referred one of the agents that came through our trial, and it was actually a better fit for me to send him to you, Vikram, to have a conversation because it was a skills-based conversation, and that person's not working with you. So Vic, like give us kind of the high level overview, and then we'll close out the show on like what the Real Estate Sales Academy free trial is.
You guys saw it here, right? We role play, we objection handle, we figure out better ways to communicate with prospects so that we can book more appointments, right? Imagine like this is just like the nuggets, like the bare nuggets that we could give you. Imagine like if you were able to come into one of our multiple coaching calls every single week. We're not like a typical big company where they meet once a month or once a week, or they have like a 45-minute mastermind and there's 50 people on the group call and you have no time with the person. I'm very hands-on with my group. I'm very connected with my people. We have communication channels where they can ask a question and they'll get a response within typically 6 to 12 hours. Sometimes it's sooner than that because in between every call, I always check Facebook to see how my peeps are doing. We have multiple group calls, right? So like, I get it. You're in your car, you're driving, you can't listen to it. Everything's recorded, and we have a portal that talks about open houses. We have a portal that talks about expires, teaches you exactly what to say and how to say it so that we don't trigger objections. And if you get an objection, which is absolutely normal in a sales industry, we teach you exactly how to overcome it in a non-salesy way. I'll just give you like the framework is disarm, humanize, solve, right? So first thing we got to do is disarm the prospect. Second thing we got to do is humanize the objection or the concern, right? It's just a concern. And then third thing is we solve it, but we don't tell them, we solve it with them. So like really quick, when people ask about interest rates, oh yeah, that's not a problem. I guess when you say interest rates are high, how do you mean? Oh, well, we could have got it for 5% last year. Okay, well, I guess like, why was 5% so important to you? Well, we don't want to overpay, blah, blah, blah. Right now we can actually start to solve the problem. Okay, so let's do this. Like, how are you tracking the market to see where interest rates are? Oh, we just look on the news. Okay. And I guess like, have you actually talked to like a financial professional about what the difference in payments are? No. Okay. And why didn't you guys buy a couple of years ago? Well, because there was too much competition in the market. We didn't want to overpay. Okay. And where would you guys ideally like interest rates to be at? Well, if they came down from 7.5 to 6 or 5.5, okay. And I guess when that happens, right, it might be 2 or 3 years. I guess we'll just keep renting and you're paying how much a month? $2,500. Okay. Do you have a calculator handy, Cody? Yeah. Okay. 2,500 times 24 months is how much? $67,000. Okay. So that's what you're going to circle that. That's what you guys are going to pay in interest. 100% interest to the landlord. What do you mean 100%? Well, is the landlord giving you guys any money back for this money you're giving them? No. Okay. So then it's like 100% interest rate. I guess we never thought about it. Oh, really? No agents ever told you that you're paying 100% interest, not 6 or 7? No.
So I think one of the important things here.
That's what we do inside liberal. Like that's how our clients are crushing it.
Yeah, and your clients are absolutely crushing it. And like something I do want to throw out there is like half the battle is tone, and that's like one of the things that you guys focus on. Like as you were going through that explanation, that's not the tone you're using with the client. That's like no. We're in presentation mode.
Super presentation mode. Yeah. Like if I was in
and
it's super fast, like the pace and everything super fast.
Yeah, I just wanted to set expectation.
But if you guys have leads, call Cody up. Anyways, let's stop selling and let's get people. We'll see you guys on the next episode. And
we'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace out.